Hello everyone. I can see that we are all slowly coming in. Most of us are already here. Maybe there will be some more people who are coming, but as the time is 7 o'clock, we can then start slowly with the event. My name is Nele, and I am hosting today's event. What can you do for greener Estonia? And for those who have not visited our events before, then just for your information, Astonishing Evenings is a private initiative started by 4 like-minded individuals, me, Silver Tambur, Madeleine Truu, and Reelika Virunurm. We started in 2017 with the aim of bringing together locals and expats to discuss different topics of interest. And last year, we also started a subsidiary project called Astonishing Life. And Astonishing Life is part of a project supporting the adoption of newly arrived foreigners, and it is funded by European Social Fund and also by the Ministry of Interior of Republic of Estonia. So today it is actually our really first online event. Usually our events take place at Telliskivi Creative City. And our today's event is about environmental initiatives. So we actually have 3 speakers and 3 organizations. We have Kadi Genk from Let's Do It Foundation. We have Diana Paakspuu from Reuse Center, and we have Erki Ani from Clean Tech Forest. They will all tell you about their organizations, about what are they doing, which kind of environmental problems they are tackling. And you will also hear how you could support them or join them. And everybody is free to ask questions. You can do it by simply adding them in the chat or raising your hand. We will finish today's event with a green quiz. And this means that we will put you all into groups of 3 to 4 people. You will find yourselves in breakout rooms with complete strangers, and we will send you questions which you can then start answering. We also tested the questions, and the people who tested them said that they are really interesting. And we also have prizes for the winning teams. So the prizes are actually gift cards from Prangli Travel and Biomarket. So I think it can be really fun and interesting. But now I have been talking for a while now. So I think we can start with our first speakers. I would then introduce Kadi Genk, who is actually a societal change management expert, who is especially focused on circular economy. And the organization Let's Do It Foundation educates and consults all kinds of NGOs and municipalities around the world on how to adopt zero waste principles. Kadi, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. That was one of the best intros I've heard. Short and concrete, so I won't bother you much with that side. I will share my screen immediately. It came, here it is. Cool, thank you. So yes, that's shortly what Let's Do It Foundation does. And since I have 15 minutes and I very much am the intro to the whole topic tonight, then how about I start with just testing the grounds. Maybe you've all seen what these cards are, ever played with them. Then I'd like to start with a short game of asking you right in the chat. Search for where the chat is. I think everybody already knows where that works in Zoom. What do you think, which cards represent circular economy best in your opinion? You have about 30 seconds to answer that question. And then I'm gonna ask someone to comment also on why they thought that, that this is the card that best represents what circular economy is. I don't see anyone writing in the chat yet. Come on, guys. Okay, here we are. Number 2, number 4, number 8, 2, 3. All right. Yes, we all love Dixit, all of them. Since there has only been number 1 who's written number 8, Christina, how about you comment? Why did you choose 8 to be the card that represents circular economy? Can people, 2 people share books? Can people actually turn on their microphones? I actually forgot to ask that.
Christina, we can't hear you, yeah? If you want to comment.
If you want to comment, you don't have to. Oh, but she also wrote in the comments.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw books and I saw 2 people. Maybe one person already is finished the books and is passing it on the other people.
All right.
The one book, we will just make a long circle until it's broken, till not usable.
Cool, thank you. How about Mark says, why did you choose number 4?
Just looking at the snail going uphill to try to get to the top. And it's obviously a circular path. So it's just nothing more than visuals, actually, but looking as someone trying, or some type of creature, trying to get up and go around and complete a journey.
Okay, cool. That's a really beautiful explanation of this. I hope that none of us really believes that we're going to be snailing our way towards the top of becoming completely circular. But I like the way how you've been seeing this. And also I like how Triin was saying that all of them represent circular economy, which is probably true, because there are so many ways of understanding what it is, where we are on this path, how are we achieving this. I like one of the sayings about circular economy, which is that it's like teenage sex. Everybody says that they're doing it, only some are doing it, and those who are doing it aren't doing it too well. Which is pretty much where we are with circular economy, pretty much all across the world. I'll show you a map that proves my point, but also we are at this point with Estonia as well. Thank you. I have one more question to ask from you, and this is, if you'd have to put yourself on this map here, whether you separate waste or not, living here in Estonia, then what would be your answer? Yes, I do. No, I don't have the opportunity. Only some kinds, or what's the point? What would you answer? I see people rather being optimistic about sharing. No, I don't have the opportunity. Yes, mostly, very good. Nobody's answering what's the point. Is there anyone who'd like to say what's the point?
I guess everybody who joined today are really environmentally conscious.
Well, to be honest, I don't know if you can touch upon it, but after the last very thorough article in Eesti Express, I think there have been some questions. What's the point? We
And
can
I like
share
to
the
ask-
article later. It's only in Estonian, but we can post it under the event so you can translate.
And that's very good, because what I'd really like to say is that there is no right or wrong answer to this question. It's only about the fact that this is how you are behaving at this particular case. And what we are working with Let's Do It Foundation also is targeting waste management programs from the systems point of view, because the idea of waste management, proper environmental behavior, is not something where we should be looking at individual behavior. It's not something where your individual choices as such are the problem to why are we not yet with achieving circular economy. It's rather that the environmental problems are not caused by singular options or singular choices. It's that there's a whole systemic approach to what supports certain type of behavior. And this is not to discourage you from your choices. It's rather to say that it's not particularly your fault the way how things are. It's not particularly your fault that you do not have the opportunity to separate waste, or that you only separate some kinds. It's about understanding that there are so many things that influence the way how we behave, or that reproduce the patterns that make us behave in a certain way. So that as an organization, our approach is to look at the systemic change, to allow individuals to have more opportunities to behave in a better way, so that instead of just educating you about what is environmentally sound thing to do, we're really telling those who are enabling you the environmentally good options to provide you with them the best possible way. And why I'm saying that is because even you might know Let's Do It as an organization that called to life the First World Cleanup Day, or maybe you've heard of some of our other campaigns as well here in Estonia. But it doesn't matter how much we clean or how much we recycle. There is really no sound way of recycling ourselves out of the problem when it comes to drowning in waste and waste pollution. And why I'm saying this is that if you look at the system, if you look at the global map, and you're from around the world here, then that global map shows you how much waste a certain country is generating. The size of the circle shows you the amount of waste generated, and the color indicates what is actually done with the waste. And you can see that there is very little capacity to actually recycle or compost waste around the world. And even if there's the capacity, then you might start to realize that the size of the circle shouldn't be as big as it is, because we are running out of resources. And recycling in most cases doesn't really mean that materials will actually stay in use. It really means that we are downcycling and reducing the value of things. So the real goal that where we want to go is that we'd be using less resources, and we become better at keeping them in circulation. And this is where circular economy and the principles of circular economy become incredibly important, which are something that can be solved really on a bigger level. Not to say that individually we can't do anything about it, and I'll also tell you a few things more what you can do. Us as Let's Do It Foundation, currently in Estonia, we are committed to promoting reuse campaigns together with a global movement called Break Free from Plastic. You can look it up around Europe. There are organizations that are promoting the reuse as the solution to solving the circularity problem that we are facing globally, but also in Europe. It gives citizens and organizations and businesses the opportunity to show that we are actually looking for a reuse systems. We want there to be more providers. We want legislators to be supporting reuse businesses, so that we have more opportunities also to be environmentally more conscious, not only conscious, but also able to behave in a better way. And why this is important is because in reality, there is so much more value also for the society in reuse and society. So reuse activities. So this slide here is only to pretty much illustrate to you that there are so many more jobs and opportunities when we are starting to look at things with more value. Instead of trying to recycle, we should be looking at the reuse society where things are designed, where we start to reduce the amount of stuff we actually need to own. And anything we need, we can then either rent it, or if need be, only have it as a service, or share it with others. And then, well, because we're pretty much running out of time, then us as Let's Do It Foundation are with the We Choose Reuse campaign hosting a refill day this year on the 16th of June, that has become an international day for promoting reuse opportunities. Then you can also follow it on Facebook. It is in Estonian, but also on Let's Do It Foundation page. You can see more information about it in English. So what you can do as an individual is go on wechoosereuse.org page and sign the commitment to reuse opportunities as an individual. If you represent the business or an NGO, you can do that there too. You can follow and share reuse opportunities on Refill Day, which is particularly for Estonia, where you can show how you have been able to refill or reuse things here in Estonia, and actually just endorsing businesses that enable you to do that. The easiest thing you can do whenever going to a restaurant, which doesn't happen these days, as you can imagine, but when at home, then, you know, pat yourself on the shoulder for drinking tap water instead of buying water in plastic bottles, for example. When something gets broken, repair it, and if you need to shop, then use reuse shops, and whenever you can, then again endorse those great people and businesses who enable you to behave that way, because the system won't change until us as consumers are also showing that we believe in the system change. So whenever you do that, you can use the hashtag #KeepItClean or We Choose Reuse, or both of them. And if you want to follow more on what we're doing in Estonia or internationally, go to letsdoitfoundation.org and subscribe to our newsletter, or whenever you need to contact me, I'm available for questions. That was my rocket through our focus on reuse activities in Estonia. Thank you. Is there a chance or wish for any questions or comments before we give the word to an actual living example of a reuse shop in Estonia?
Nele, unmute yourself.
Nele, we don't hear you. Sorry, I think you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I had a feeling that I have noises here, so I turned it off for a while. Sorry. I saw some hands rising. I think there was Jaak raising a hand. Did you have a question?
No, I was clapping.
You were clapping. Okay. I can see
but we have a question from the chat from Kristina Mertova. The question is, do you know about other bulk shops except
Biomarket.
Yeah, Biomarket, yeah. Okay.
Yes, there is the first packaging free shop in Kalamaja. Somebody help me out now what their name was.
Ilmapood.
Yes, Ilmapood, exactly. However, this is a and of course there are some other nature shops that still allow you to buy in bulk, but mostly then that goes for hygiene products. However, more and more businesses are providing their products to be refilled. So again, there aren't too many yet, but they are collecting on the Refill Day page as well, companies who actually provide some opportunities for refill. And on mainstream, you can now start following what Rimi is doing. It's their first pilot this year, to again in Tartu and Tallinn, to provide you not yet food, but again, home hygiene and hygiene products to be refilled in your own container. And this year, more and more pilots are coming out who allow you to buy in bulk, so which is going on mainstream and bigger supermarkets. So definitely something to follow, and I can definitely urge you that this is something that businesses are doing to figure out whether the market is ready for it. It's not a new idea, it's rather that whether the market is actually willing to go along. So as consumers, whenever you can, I urge you to be somebody who actually goes with your own container to show that you have interest for it. So go and be the consumer that shows it's worth their effort to provide you with that opportunity.
Thank you. I can see that there are some people who have even added the Ilmapood to the chat. So if someone really wants to visit it, then I think you can find the information in the chat.
Oh, and one comment. This robust example is that you can also just always go to the market. That's the kind of shop where things are always provided in bulk, right? So, the traditional way of doing things. They might also be too carried away with the over packaging, but you can be smart about it and just go and show and already be prepared that to ask, no, I don't want any bags, I don't want your own boxes, I have my own, and they will go along with it.
Seems like the last comment was just a sound, not a real comment. But okay, thank you really much, Kadi. It was really interesting. And I think we can now continue with our next speaker, who is Diana Pakspuu, and she is the CEO of Reuse Center, which is actually also the most successful NGO and social enterprises in Estonia. And Reuse Center offers people the possibility to both donate unused goods as well as use secondhand, like buy secondhand goods for good prices. So Diana, the floor or the screen is yours.
Thank you. I will share my screen right away. So can you see it? Yeah, I hope everybody can see my slides now.
Actually, they are somehow cut.
They are cut?
In the middle.
They kind of split. Yeah, you can only see half at the moment.
Which is
maybe
very...
you can go back.
Okay.
Now we can see. Yeah.
Yes, this is much better.
Okay, very good. So I will give you a short background and information about the Reuse Center, or if you like to hear the Estonian version, it's Uuskasutuskeskus. We are a pretty old organization, established in 2004, and we are a non-profit NGO, and we breathe and work every day in order to send used things to circulation and make reuse easily accessible for everybody in Estonia. So that's our mission. And how we operate is that we collect different things from Estonian people, and those things that they don't need anymore, but which are still in good condition. And then we send those items to circulation via either our stores or partner organizations. And why we sell those things that are donated to us is because we are an NGO, and we don't get any benefits from anywhere. So we basically use the sales income to cover our maintenance costs, such as the rentals of the shops, the utilities, the salaries, etc. And we also support many people in need via our partners. So we support large families, homeless people, women's crisis homes, animal shelters, and we also do a lot of cooperation with craftsmen and student companies by providing them different kinds of materials that they could use for handicraft. And we also do cooperation with theaters and movie makers, so that whenever you actually are looking the latest movies made in Estonia or different serials, then you can actually see items or clothes that are borrowed from reuse center. And we also support Good Deed Foundation. And just to give you some understanding in numbers, there are 120 of us who are working every day on our mission. And we also have around 30 volunteers and 50 social workers. We have 15 shops all over Estonia. 7 of them are in Tallinn, 2 are in Tartu, and also we have a store in Pärnu, Paide, Võru, Jõhvi, and Narva. And currently, unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 situation, all our stores are closed for shopping. But if you would still like to get some understanding or buy some stuff from us, then you could visit our online shop. And there is on the slide, you could see also the link or a web address for that. We also have a sorting center where we sort all the donations which are given to us, and where we also keep different goods for the warehousing, in that sense that, for instance, if people are donating currently for us swimming shoots and fishing ropes, then we cannot use them at the moment. So we keep them in warehouses and we send them to circulation on the correct season. We also have 4 fans in our logistics team. And this is needed in order to make it easier for people to donate to us the larger items, and also to move around the goods between our stores. And we have 10 donation places outside our shops. Most of the donations you can do still in our shops if they're open. The items what we are sending to circulation are basically everything. So you can see the big list there. So as long as the items which are donated to us are in good condition and clean, we can send them to circulation. There are a few exceptions because of the safety reasons. We do not accept child safety seats and cradles, gas ovens, CRT TVs, and broken items. And there I've just provided a list of things which you also cannot donate to us, and which should be taken to the waste station instead, like used batteries or scrap metal or tires, or so. Those things should go to the waste station. And if you would like to give your share to the reuse and the cleaner environment, then and you have a question how you could donate to us, then one of the easiest ways is just to come and visit our 15 stores. And we have a special donation area there. But unfortunately, currently our stores are closed, but you still are able to bring us the donations. So we have on every door of our stores a sign with a mobile phone number where you can call, and then we come and open the door for you, and you can contact freely give us the donations. We have then different donation places also outside our shops. The biggest one is the large container in Viimsi, which is opened during the weekends when we have a person there who is taking over those donations. And we also have donation boxes in different department stores, like Ülemiste Center, Stockmann department store, Tallinna department store, etc. And this actually last autumn, we also opened a reuse point in cooperation with Saku and Kiisa municipalities, so where people can come and bring their used things. And 3 weeks ago, we opened in Tasku Center in Tartu also a donation wall. And in case you have furniture or larger home appliances which you don't need anymore, but which are still in good condition, then you can always call our van, which then comes and takes those items away free of charge. And I have provided on the slides the contact information for you. And as currently the situation with COVID-19 is quite fierce, then we have opened a new little project. We have in March and April a donation taxi. So basically, if you just give a call on the phone number, which you can see on the slide, then our car will come to you, and you can give the donations just on your doorway. And we don't have any containers on the street. And if you would like to contribute more to the environment and reuse, then probably you might have a question. What could you do? And I think this is something what the previous presenter was also talking, Kadi was talking, is that think through your purchases. That before you actually go and buy something, really think about it. Do I really need this thing? And if you don't need, well, then it's easy, keep going. But if you do need it, then give it a thought. Does it have to be a new item, or can it be from the second hand? If it can be from the second hand, then you're very welcome to visit, for instance, Uuskasutuskeskus or any other second-hand stores. But if it has to be new, then also try to investigate if you can buy those products ethically. If you can, then that's good. If you can't, then try to select the product which actually lasts for a long time. So yeah, it's always good to ask those questions before you will go and buy a new thing. And in case you would like to contribute to the environment and reuse via reuse center, then you are most welcome to donate us the items that you don't need anymore, but which are still in good condition. And after COVID-19 restrictions, you are also very welcome to purchase in our stores. And you might find pretty surprising that the second-hand stores can look very bright and modern. That we are actually trying to break the myth that the second-hand store is somewhere in a cellar, dark and smelly place. So when you come to our stores, you will see that they actually are very bright and modern, and you actually cannot distinguish them from the other shops. And if that's still not enough how to contribute, then you are also very welcome to join us as a volunteer, but it has to also wait the end of the COVID-19 crisis. So thank you. Do you have any questions?
There's a question here from Anna Barbosa. What are the most difficult items to put back into circulation, and which ones are the easiest ones?
That's a very good question. In case the items are in good quality, then we actually are able to put back all items to circulation. We will find the way, yeah, because we have many stores and we also have a lot of those partner organizations where we support people who are in need. And but what is most difficult items to put back in circulation is, for instance, broken or very dirty clothes that you cannot send to circulation, and then we try to find them some other ways of using. For instance, if you have broken bed linen, then or pillows or blankets, then we try to give them to the animal shelters. So or we give different linens also to the car fixing service stops. But of course, those quantities, what they need, are quite small. So in that sense, I think that it's the large problem, and this is not only in Estonia, but all over Europe and also in the world, that what to do with those low quality textiles. So that's, and I think there is currently not a good answer how to solve that issue.
I have one more comment. Maybe I don't know about the specifics, but my mother is part of one, for example, handicraft association, and they make a lot of carpets. So they really shred everything, all the material that it's not really usable anymore, depending on the colors and so on, and make these rug carpets that Estonians so love. Mm-hmm. So that would be one idea to donate them. Maybe there's a lot of these handicraft associations, I think, in a lot of towns and places all over Estonia.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And this is actually what we are also doing, that all over Estonia, we have the special relations with those handicrafters, and we try to give them different types of materials, what they need. But yes, mm-hmm. That's one way how to solve that issue.
Yeah, maybe a question from our side as well, from the organizers. Do you have any good story? Have you found something like really, I don't know, valuable or something very precious to you from Reuse Center? Because to me, I was just telling Diana before, it's almost a magical place every time I need something. And I don't want to buy it new. I do find it there. So somehow it works for me. So my latest find was when I was going snowboarding, and you know, the winter is still how it is. And I was looking for some nice snowboarding pants, and I didn't want to buy them new. And the same happened when I was looking for a hiking backpack in the summer. There were actually a few good backpacks that I could find. So I'm definitely a fan, and usually, again, I have to say they are really good quality, and it's like going on a treasure hunt. You also sometimes you need things, sometimes you don't know what you might find and need. So I also encourage everyone to have a look.
Yeah, thank you for that. And actually, yeah, I think this word treasure hunt, what you used, this really illustrates pretty well us, because you can really find anything basically. And of course, not always when we sort those things, we don't really know the real value of some of the items. So, but there are people who are extremely well knowledgeable about different tissue brands or clothes brands, so you can really get some very good stuff from a very cheap price, and that's fine with us, because we have actually completed our mission to send those items back to circulation. So yeah, there are very different items which people ask from us. For instance, old typing machines, or no, I think the sky is only the limit of the things you can ask, like, from our store. And sometimes we get very, very interesting donations as well. For instance, once we found a fire gun from the donations, which we of course had to hand over to the police. We have got fake thieves, and so it's a very you never get bored at our store.
Okay, this was really interesting, and I believe many of us are already buying second-hand goods as well. I am as well, so I am also a visitor of Uuskasutuskeskus like you and Reelika. But now, as the time is going forward, then I would now introduce our third speaker, who is Erki Ani, who is the CEO of Cleantech Forest, which is Estonian cleantech development powerhouse. The core activities range from policy development to offering high quality accelerator programs for startups. So the screen is yours, Erki.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Nere. Very good intro from me as well. And welcome everybody. It's so nice to see a lot of enthusiastic people on this topic. Now, I was asked to give you a presentation about our organization, about Cleantech Forest. I'm not going to do that though. I have just one slide about us. I hope you can see the presentation. So Cleantech for Estonia is the umbrella organization for Estonian cleantech startups. Now, what is cleantech? We define cleantech in 8 sectors or 8 categories, because cleantech isn't a vertical. It's rather a horizontal that goes through various technology applications. So you can see here that the cleantech startups, when they sprout out and try to go to the market, they have a really difficult task of tackling the incumbent technologies, the already existing technologies that already have the policy support. For example, if we're talking about energy and larger infrastructure projects. And they also have to be good, cheaper, more valuable, environmentally friendly, of course, and disruptive technologies. If we talk about startups, I hope the audience understands like the main concept of a startup. So it's rapidly growing, scalable, and kind of bootstrapping company. So that's the slide about the Cleantech Forest. So we are the umbrella organization for the startups and also developing the sector. We've invested €1 million into 42 Estonian startups. That's non-equity fund financing. So it's not like an investment per se. It's rather a grant kind of thing. So we're using European Union's taxpayers' money. So you are also paying for our things and for the startups things. And our alumni has raised also more than 19 million euros today by external investments. We have launched a new accelerator program. Accelerator is a program where startups or ideas or teams are selected for a certain amount of time, for example, 3 months, 6 months, 5 months. They will get also investment. Here we're talking about a real investment, and they will get business consultancy and market market know-how. They will receive potential customers, potential collaboration partners, and so on. We're doing that beeline in Central Eastern European region. We have also trained 61 Estonian experts, so environmental experts on systems innovation. And we have brought to Estonia 53 experts to the local companies, organizations, public, private, you name it. So we also deal with environmental awareness and expertise development. We just founded the Cleantech Founders Club, which gathers all the Estonian cleantech startups founders together. So starting with skeleton technologies, which is making a hype in the news at the moment, Roofit Solar, Vula, and so on. At the moment, there's approximately 35 startups gathered there. But I have a question for you as well. I already kind of hit the button. Can you put in the chat, what is your kind of best guess or estimate? How many clean tech startups are there in Estonia? I'll be waiting for a bit and then providing a context. 200, that's ambitious. I love that. Hoping to reach 200 in a couple of years, I hope. Well, 20 is a bit too less, 150, 50, 45. Yep, kind of maybe right there in the middle. Triin, don't say, because Triin is my colleague as well, also in the audience. Well, the real thing is that it's very difficult to estimate. The 60 cleantech startups in Estonia that have raised funding, this is where the data comes from as well, from the crowdsourced database of Estonian funding failures and exits, managed by the Funders Club or the Asutajate Selts in Estonia. But approximately 90 to 100 startups that kind of total the whole bunch of our cleantech startups. So 60 have raised investments, and let's say about 40 are still on their path to do so. And with startups, sometimes they die, sometimes they win. So it's a bit difficult. Which is also interesting. There's roughly half are hardware solutions or hardware startups. So if you're thinking about Roofit Solar or Skeleton Technologies, these are hardware startups. Software startups are more like smart load solutions of Themo, a smart thermostat, and so on. And the amounting total is like nearly 300 million euros of investments into cleantech sector to date. And now I'm kind of off the hook with introducing Cleantech Forest. I'm going to spice it up a bit with the best examples or the very good examples of our alumni. Maybe that will be very interesting for you as well. It's like a palette of different category startups that are that have sprouted from our programs. We have incubation, acceleration, hackathons, and so on. So there's Reverse Resources, a company that's building a textile inventory database or a tool. They are piloting that in Bangladesh. And as you can see, the press release Circular Fashion Partnership officially launched. They are working together with the world's biggest textile manufacturers and producers to develop for them a kind of a tool for the manufacturing part to understand where the textile waste lies, what is the potential of this waste being reused in other clothing or cloth, and so on. So they started off in 2015, and today they've done a great deal of development so far. The SimPower is also coming from the energy sector. So they are developing the device that, for example, you could use in your house as a smart boiler thermostat. If you heat up water throughout the day, you have this kind of boiler of 40 liters, 60 liters, whatever. And SimPower provides you with a gadget or an intelligence for this boiler that could heat the water during the times when the price in the network or in the Nord Pool spot, for example, is the lowest. They have raised around 400 million euros of funding today and moved their headquarters to the Netherlands, but the development team is still active in Estonia, in Tartu, in fact. And they're also hiring. And all these startups that I'm talking about, they're hiring at the moment or are very soon to be hiring a lot more people as well. So you might have a look on that. Gelatex Technologies, a very interesting one, develops in the beginning in 2016 when they started, they had the vision of developing faux leather out of animal waste, or not like waste, but like from animal bones and skin that other would be just incinerated in those facilities that we are so afraid of. Anyway, they made a spin in last year They also participated in the Techstars Accelerator. Techstars is the world's #2 accelerator program, a huge one. And they did a pivot, what they say in startup world. So instead of developing this faux leather, they started developing nanomaterial for nanofibers, nanofiber material for growing cultured meat, for example, lab-grown meat, also for repairing human tissues, also for batteries or ultra capacitors, and so on. So very fascinating. If you're into that, definitely check them out. So we have Roofit Solar Energy, the Estonian Tesla roof. If you have heard of Tesla roof, then probably if you're in Estonia, you have heard about Roofit Solar as well. This roof that you can see on the picture, that's 100% covered with solar panels. You cannot see that because that's like the intention of it. They call themselves the most aesthetic PV panels producer. They produce in Tallinn. They have doubled their size of production. They also gained a lot of investments a couple of years ago and are now gaining another round. Their team is growing rapidly. So if you're an expert in PVs or industrial manufacturing, definitely look them out as well. Might be interesting opportunities there for you. We have power up energy technologies. We cannot stay without hydrogen topics. So hydrogen is also a very booming topic in Estonia as well, also on the policy level, but also in Europe and also global and elsewhere as well, I guess. So they are producing, hydrogen generators. So what's that? That's the gadget that you can see in the picture in the middle. You can compare it to a diesel generator, right? Backup power for your house or the power for your yacht, the sailing boats. So that's their market niche as well. They're targeting yachts and sailing boats to replace the diesel generators with hydrogen generators. Very science-based, very deep tech company. So we have Lavatech, the most fascinating female founder I have ever met, Tatiana, coming from Belarus. She established her company in Estonia, I think, in 2016 or 2017, and been kicking off everybody's ass since then. Now they're also very active in Asia, partnering up with a very big multinational telco company, which is a secret, and I can't say that. But they're very successful. As you can also see, Tatiana is in Forbes 30 out of 30, and now also part of Forbes Council that was announced a couple of days before. And what they do is they provide vertical farms with intelligent lighting. So a lighting that analyzes also the needs and demands of the plant that it shines upon, and according to that changes the frequency, changes the light waves, and so on. So very interesting. They just set up their office in Tallinn, near the Freedom Square. And I guess they're also hiring more kind of engineers, and so check out that as well. A couple of more still to go, 3 of them. I hope I'm not out of time. So that's Vula, a very huge success hit. They started last year, actually, or a couple of months before last year. They are producing bubble wrap alternative as sheep wool. So they are not using sheep wool that would otherwise get sewn into socks or sweaters or things like that. They use the residue that would otherwise be buried underground because there's nothing to do with that. You cannot burn it or anything. So they're using that to produce a bubble wrap alternative. So they have the sheets kind of thing. If you order anything from Tallinn Kaubamaja, it's not a commercial at the moment, then you'll most probably will receive an envelope in line with Vula's product. And as you can see, they're also very successful in various settings. And now we have Vokbike, a hardware startup that is producing 4-wheeled electric light vehicle. They also raised quite an impressive round of investment because they've been active 13 months today. They found their investors mainly in the startup community. So, Estonian startup community, once you go there, there's no turning back because it's like the community is giving everything to you. It's like a a vicious circle, although not vicious. And Fusebox, last but not least, Fusebox is producing, they have the technology to balance the grid's consumption and production of energy. So for example, if there's need on the market to lower the consumption of the grid of electricity, Fusebox goes to a cold storage, for example, where they hold fish and ice cream and stuff like that, and they tell the cold storage that, hey, can you switch off your power for an hour or two? We will pay you for that, and you will not lose in the degrees. I mean, your Celsius will be the same, basically, like maybe 1 degree drop. That wouldn't do anything harm. And they are very active in Lithuanian market and also entering Malaysia as we speak. So that's about it. So what can you do for a greener Estonia? Become one of the stories that we tell to all the people around the world and in Estonia mostly. So if you have a startup or an idea or a startup idea, or you have a team and an idea, then reach out to us, apply for one of our programs. We don't have programs open at the moment, but they are being developed as we speak as well. Well, best probably to sign up to our newsletter to have all the freshest information. We provide volunteering, for example, for the Techstars Sustainability Hackathon. It's a huge global event happening in the end of April 23 to April 25. So if you have an idea also on energy or smart cities, you can participate there as a team or as a startup, or if you just have an idea, come with an idea. We love people with ideas. We assess the team, the people like you. If you're here, that's like the first step, right? And you can also volunteer. Once you're in Techstars Hackathon as a volunteer, you have another opportunity to organize the Techstars event yourself, and who knows what happens or what grows after that. If you're interested in internship, we have many programs that we love. Helpers, little or big helpers, doesn't matter. We have educational programs and startup programs. And also, if you're looking to invest in clean tech, I mean, we know everybody in clean tech startups. We can hook you up with the best subject that you could wish. And we have a clean tech startups demo center in Tallinn as well. There's a star behind that sentence, and that's with a purpose, because we will not allow you in at the moment. But if you're really eager to come and you come alone, then we can maybe give you a tour. There's like maybe 50 or 45 or 50 startups present at the moment. And we're updating that more or less frequently as well. Whew. Thanks a lot. And just to say, Cleantech Forest is turning into Cleantech Estonia, just to kind of embrace the fact that we are the umbrella organization for cleantech startups in Estonia. So the roof organization doing also policy making, as Nella said as well. So yes, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Erki, talking about ideas, is there any idea you would think has got a space or room that would, could be started in Estonia? If someone was thinking about starting a clean tech startup, looking even around the world, is there something that you would, define at the moment that is not been done or started yet in Estonia?
Well, if I would know that, I would probably not disseminate that information here.
Not like a specific idea, but in terms of like for example, some sort of
topics or categories,
topics or field, or like you said, for example, yeah, there's already someone producing solar panels, whatever. But is there any sort of field that has not been covered yet?
A field that has not been covered yet. Well, there's a lot of room for food, like food tech. We have insect protein producers, farming devices, technology providers, and so on. But there's quite a lot of room for food as well. New materials, for example, Gelatex technologies, other kind of decomer technology. I'm not going to go into them too much. So materials, biochemicals, Estonians are really good at this. There's very good infrastructure. I mean, generally, if to speak about why to start your why to start your startup in Estonia, I would say that Estonia is an incubation country, or it's like the country as the incubator. So you come here, you have the world's best startup community. That's like unofficial. That's like official. You have all the contacts. The community is very close, so you have piloting, testing, demoing opportunities right there at your grasp. Probably you'll get some investments from the community as well. All the communities also, co-working spaces, but investors, angels, investors, associations, and so on. Our energy grid, for example, is like super smart. Estonia was the first country to develop like 100% smart meter coverage, which means that Elering, which is the TSO of Estonia, they hold vast amount of data of all our consumption of electricity and energy. And what can you do with that data? It's like totally up to you. You can go to Elering, knock on the door, say, hey, I would like to, test my product with your data. Can you provide me some data? Well, it's going to be anonymous, obviously, but you can still do that. So that makes like the perfect country for testing and ideating on your product if it's coming from the energy field or electricity field. Also gas, but I mean, who uses gas? Right? It's not very sustainable.
There's also a question from Anna Barbosa here, and she says usually clean tech projects involve hardware/gadgets, but do you have an example of an impactful clean tech project that is solely based on software?
Yes, a couple of them I also noted out. For example, the reverse resources, doing huge things in textile manufacturing and textile monitoring, providing the circular economy aspect there, also educating the large corporates on circular economy aspects. I mean, that's a step forward. That's not like, that's not like the magical one that will now make, H&M and Zara circular economy. But that's a huge step forward. SimPower, for example, the same thing in the energy sector. In the energy sector, if we're talking about demand response, balancing as SimPower Fusebox, there's smart load solutions. Rather check out Themo. Themo is a smart thermostat that you can actually now buy. I have 2 of them at home. So in my bathroom floor thermostats, which usually are these stupid things that you have to turn, and then your kids turn them really hot and really cold and so on, or turn them off and on. So this gadget that I have now replaced this, takes into account the grid cost, or the cost of the electricity from the grid, and then heats or preheats my floor according to my needs, to my schedule of day. These can be used. Very smart device, software-based device. Well, yes, they have a hardware component as well. That doesn't matter too much. But there's also Single Earth. I know I'm going over time quite a lot. Maybe a last one. Sorry. So the Single Earth. There's a lot of rambling about and around the CO2 offsetting for larger corporates. Single Earth started maybe 2 years ago or so in a hackathon, in a Garage 48 hackathon. As the name local offset. So what they are doing, if there's a corporate or a larger company and they are thinking that, hey, we cannot go like totally zero with our carbon footprint. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna buy indulgence, right? So they're gonna go to Single Earth, formerly local offset, and they're gonna say that, hey, we have this kind of amount of CO2 that still needs to be neutralized or zeroed out. And then Single Earth will find a forest owner that will declare that this forest owner will then manage their forest in the most sustainable way as possible in order to capture and utilize the CO2 that is out there in the atmosphere, and what this company is producing as well. So that's like a very good software example here.
Just one more thing. You also said a lot of companies are hiring. So I guess all the companies are listed on your website, and people just should contact them directly then if they were looking for a job, yeah?
Yes and no. There's a very good group in Facebook, modern times. This Facebook's group's name is Kliimamuutused ja rohetehnoloogiad. I'm going to post it here in the chat a bit after the presentation, so you can check it out. The name is in Estonian, but we mainly post there also job opportunities coming from startups, but also coming from various sustainability organizations, you know, ministries and so on. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities popping up there. There's already rather very many opportunities already. Thank you, Triin, very much for that. So Triin just posted the group's link there as well. You can check it out. The posts there mainly are English, but the group's name is in Estonian, so don't be frightened by that.
Yeah, there was also a question from Dasha, but I guess Dasha, you got your answer here, right? Triin has posted this group here on the chat room.
Yes, that's yeah, good. That's the special portal.
Perfect. But thank you a lot, Erki, for the presentation. It was really inspiring. I thought I knew about clean tech startups, but I discovered that there are still some which I do not know about. So actually, we are now done with the speakers, and we will soon start playing the quiz. If anyone wants to join or has some more questions to the speakers, then I believe that they could contact you directly. Your contacts are all up in the internet. So thank you again. It was interesting. And we will now take a 1 minute break. And after we will return, we will start playing the quiz. I will form groups of 3 to 4 people. The groups will be formed randomly, and then you will also get the questions for the quiz. So let's see again in 1 minute time. You can go and grab a drink or sandwich and come back, and we will start.
Mm-hmm. And everyone coming back, then please participate in the quiz as well. Then we know how to form the teams exactly.
So welcome back, everyone. 1 minute is over, and now we can start with the quiz. How will it exactly go is so that I will now post in the chat a link, and when you open the link, you will find all the questions which your team must answer. When we put you in the breakout rooms, then please assign one person who will then submit, and also like who fills out the form and submits it. Because for each team, we want to have only one form. So there should be only like one sheet of questions from one team. And we will also send you probably the questions via email, because we have all of your emails as well, just in case if someone cannot open the questionnaire. So I will now post the link. Please, everybody open it, and then it will take around 2 minutes. When you will be in the breakout rooms, you have 20 minutes to answer all those questions. And when we return, I will show you the correct answers, and we will announce the winners. So be ready. Here is the link. If someone has problems opening the link, then please let me know right now, or we will also send you them via email. Really nice to see you back here with us. How were the questions? Was it complicated or was it easy?
Some were pretty complicated.
It was quite tough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really environmental because we expected that most of the people who will come to the event will be really interested in those topics. And we even found a girl named Kaya who actually did those questions, and I think it was really well prepared. But now we have the answers from 5 teams, and we are starting to count the points. But meanwhile, I will show you the answers for the questions. So I will start sharing my screen any moment now. And I might be away a bit, but you can still see the questions and the answers. So, one moment.
That was a stupid answer. It would have been more interesting if it would have been something else than.
Yeah, I also thought that it's a trick question, but it wasn't.
It's always plastic.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
You're free to comment, just like Luke. Tell us what you think, or what did you get wrong?
This was the most difficult question. We had to guess.
This was difficult, yeah.
Yes.
I smell competition.
We'll find out very soon.
We missed this one.
Only
Yes.
70%, yeah.
Hey, this is not correct.
This is not correct. I think it's about a third globally.
It depends on if you take all, if it is worldwide, I guess that I think that
Yeah.
countries where they don't waste any food or at all.
Actually, when I received this question and the answer, I also was not sure about it. So I wrote back and I asked, hey, shouldn't it be 30%? And there was someone else who also said that it should be 30%. But then the girl who actually did the quiz sent me the place where she got the data, and she said that it's just really, really new information. So they have updated the statistics, but I can just send you the link as well where you can check it later.
That would be great, because something I learned in my nutrition masters was about the third.
So basically we were doing really bad and now we are doing a little bit better.
Oh, I saw
Let's see.
I saw already the next question. What a pity. I was wrong.
Yeah. So as commented by Nella, yes, we had, of course, experts helping us with the quiz, because also our team, as you know, we are doing events in many different topics, but we are all not experts on this. So so hopefully, yes, all the facts should be checked by real experts on that.
So this will be it will take several weeks before we can have the answer about this 30
results. Yeah.
30%.
This is correct.
We also missed.
This was a nasty question. I didn't know the answer. I was thinking that the swallow was not protected.
Oh, come on, beavers destroy everything, all the dams, and they make all the rivers flow.
Yeah, indeed. No, like in Brussels.
Wait, look, tell me what happened in Brussels.
No, in Brussels you have also such a river which is still there's still water inside it, but there's more shit than water actually in this river. And
wait, Is it the same river that you use for the goose beers? I forget its name.
No, no.
No.
I don't. No, yeah, I don't know very much about it, but I know it is called the asshole of Brussels. But no, there's a place where it comes out and where it goes into nature in a certain way. But it is.
Yeah, Harjapää is flowing under Livalaya, as I know.
Exactly, yeah. Jaak Juske has written quite a lot about it in his history books about Tallinn. And of course, in Pelgulin, we also still have the Harjapää street. But yeah, it mostly flew through town, I think starting somewhere Ülemiste and Livala area. So you're completely right, yes. I've read a little about it.
Oh, the matter.
Look at it. It looks so nice. It doesn't look like at all like the typical forest that we have, like pines everywhere. It looks like it could be something in Central Europe.
I think all the bog enthusiasts in Estonia must be like, oh.
Exactly.
You know, the bogs are not so much because of the biodiversity, but the bogs are important because there are a lot of species that live only there, and they are very important also for the global biodiversity. But if you look at 1 square kilometer, I guess that in a bog you don't find so many different animals and plants as in a wooded meadow.
It's very acidic, which is why it doesn't have that much biodiversity. But it's very good for tying together CO2, which is it's a good thing, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you go to hiking in the bog during Corona, it's so overcrowded. The Estonians have really discovered all the hiking trails during the last year.
Not only Estonians.
Yes.
Yeah, bravo. But we just guessed. Yeah. So, you are wrong.
My question is this picture from like Estonia? Because it kind of looked a little bit like Estonia, but not enough.
But if it's oil shale, then it could be like Ida-Virumaa.
What? I was completely wrong with the bats. I thought this I didn't know.
They fly now.
But they are the only flying mammals, so I was just playing with the wording and trying to read between the lines.
Initially, bats were suspected as the carriers of the coronavirus, which was proven wrong, obviously, but still, it didn't stop certain reprisals against them.
I didn't realize that had been proven wrong. Did they tie it to something else?
It's some sort of like a reptile or amphibian that is actually the intermediate carrier.
But bat was also in this chain. Bats and pangolins.
Oh, pangolins.
Well, I did receive the results. Coming back to this food waste part, I also asked about it. Basically, all the rooms wrote 34%, which means that it doesn't really change the outcome. The article which the quiz, like the person who did the quiz sent us, it was sent on the 4th of March, so it is a new information, but we are still, we will not take it for sure because there is way too much information about 30% as well. We have a situation where we have two teams competing for the third place. And now we have to decide who will get the third place. And the way we are doing it is that I will ask you one question, and those two teams can then answer in the chat, and the one who answers the right answer faster will get the third position. So the third place is right now in the hands of Room 1 and Clean Win. Who are Clean Win and Room 1?
Oh no.
Okay, so Clean Win and Room 1, be prepared. I will now ask the question, and the wrong answers do not count. You just have to manage to write the right answer in as fast as possible. And it can be anyone from the team who will write it in the chat. And the question is, what is the national animal of Estonia? No right answer yet.
Drum roll.
Can it be that many people have left by now and those teams are simply not here? Who is from Room 1 and Clean Win?
I see all the participants are still here. So everyone who knows the answer or thinks they know, you can just write the answer in the chat.
Grey Wolf. The correct answer is wolf. So I think we can count it as the correct one.
It is. In Estonia, it is definitely the same one. Yeah, we don't have any other wolves here.
Exactly. So, Ali, what is the team name?
Green Win. I'm from Green Win.
Green Win. Perfect. Okay. So you got the third position.
Oh, cool.
And you can buy Ali a coffee later.
Yeah, please.
After COVID again.
We will send you and your team members information how you can receive your gift cards. You will receive 10 euro value gift cards from Bio Market. So we will let you know how you can receive them.
Of course. Thank you, Elina.
Okay, I will put it in writing as well.
So
you have everything here.
Second place goes to team okay. Who is okay?
Me and Christina.
Ozan.
Yeah.
Good.
Good job. Good job.
Well done. So you can also go and shop in Bio Market, but you can do it for 15 euros.
Nice.
And we have the winners. And
What was the team name? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And we have the winners, and the winners are the last assignment. Who
Very
is
good.
assignment? Ooh, I can see Adi and Kaisa. How many were you?
3, right?
3. Yeah.
3.
Also Jaak.
So 3 people in the team.
So once again, Jaak.
Kaisa and Adi.
Nadi.
Okay, we will need your full names as well, but the main prize, Nela, if you don't mind, I will introduce it. To promote Estonian nature and tourism are gift cards from Prangli Travel for 50 euros each. So again, it is currently a little bit difficult with COVID, but Prangli Travel, you don't have to go to the Prangli Island only, but it is an option to spend a day there. But usually Prangli Travel also offers all kinds of hiking tours in the bogs with the snowshoes if there's still snow, all kinds of Old Town and Tallinn tours. We will send you this personal gift card and also a link to their, usually they have a hiking calendar. At the moment, as you know, it's only 2+2, but as soon as, again, the restrictions lift, you can contact them directly and ask for a personal hike. You can all go together as a team, but you don't have to. So this gift card is in your name and for using whenever you like. And in the summer, again, some tours I would personally recommend that even Estonians might not know about this seal watching on the Bay of Tallinn. So hülgevaatlusretked, where there usually is a 99% chance to see the seals. And also besides Prangli Island, you can also go to the small islands of Keri and Aksi usually also on a quite a personal tour with a boat. So up to you to choose from, and again, you can use them as soon as you like or keep it for the summer.
Super cool. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, really nice.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you can do it together or go separately. But we have all your emails and information, so you will receive the gifts. If there should be any troubles, then come back to us, write to us, say that there is something and you haven't received the gifts. And I hope you all had some good time today and got some knowledge about green initiatives and also about what is happening in the world in terms of different things written in the quiz. And we will now start researching how much is there food waste in Estonia. Has it changed half by half meanwhile or not? We will find it out and maybe also let you know.
I have one last question, actually. If anyone knows, I forgot. Somebody mentioned that there is a app now in Tallinn as well. I've actually tried it out in Helsinki, but it's called a little bit different in Tallinn, where basically you can check which restaurants are offering leftover food. And you can get it, I think, for a very small price before they throw it away. I think you usually have to pick it up yourself. I just heard about this app and I forgot the name.
Food Angels, I believe.
It's Fadler, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Fadler. Yes.
I think there are several.
Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited to try them out. So I'm currently not in Estonia, but that would be like one idea as well to again avoid food waste and check maybe the local restaurants in your area if they're offering something for ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for today. If someone has something to add, then we are listening. We hope to come back soon in April because we have to come back in April and we are planning to have our next event about mindfulness. And most probably, actually, it's not most probably, it's certainly, it will be also online as the whole world is online. But thank you really much. And I wish you a nice evening to come.
Yeah, and last comment from Ozan is that it was very astonishing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for organizing it. It's a successful format. Let's continue with it.
Yeah, I think everyone's tired of online events, but hopefully, you know, we can still make them fun occasionally as well.
I think it's new because you haven't done those yet, so.
Yeah, but you know, with work and everyone has a lot of them, so.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so active.